Hey guys, what's up? We are here with a timeless reading. My name is Gabriella. For anybody new tuning in, welcome. Before we get started with the reading, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with the highest good. Okay, I'm seeing something that's focusing around a relationship. It looks like values are coming up. May just be something to make sure that you're staying aware of, meaning if you find yourself in a situation where you're like, is this really worth my time? Or I feel like I'm giving this and this other person is not giving me that. If there's something specifically that you're looking for, things of this nature may be coming up. This can also be with a job too. Like, I'm doing this work, I don't feel like I'm being compensated enough. I'm putting in work in a relationship. I feel like my partner isn't showing up in the way that is important, in a way that matters to me. But this can also be you with you too. Like, are you doing the things that you need for yourself? Are you gravitating towards the things that feel important to you? Are you honoring your values? We're starting off with Temperance. This can be a new connection of yours. I'm seeing something that you're meant to be taking your time with here. Maybe something that you're still learning, adjusting to, figuring out. Feels a bit like new territory. Yeah, there's a balancing act that's happening here. This means you don't need to make any sudden moves. This may be something that's going to balance out. Okay, let's see. This means doing also your own personal balancing is important as well. Something's new, but it's already feeling like a bit much. But still, I'm seeing you've been quite patient with the process. It feels like it's pretty intense for this to just be a new thing though. You feel like you have a lot to do. I'm seeing very strong fire energy. Temperance does represent Sag. Yeah, there's something new that you're doing. There's something new that you're connecting to. It can be a person as well, but really anything that you're connecting with, where you feel like there's a higher level connection to this. This can also mean, it can be an activity. It can mean you getting connected with certain gifts that you have. It can be a talent of yours that you want to be exploring and maybe doing something with. Whatever it is, I'm seeing you feel plugged in, okay? You feel connected. Having us start with Temperance kind of sets the tone for the whole spread. So this would mean that right now, pacing yourself and easing yourself into this. Temperance is about having patience with the process and trying to sort of adjust to the movement and the natural flow of it, which can feel a bit up and down. It's not necessarily going to feel like a linear process as far as how you feel like you're progressing forward. May just be a little bit of waviness here. And I'm also seeing you feel like you have a lot on your plate, maybe more than you feel prepared for, or maybe you're I don't know if I can do all of this. I'm seeing something like that here. It just feels like a lot. It feels like a lot that you're in charge of even, or that you would have to do. It's one of those moments where you're not necessarily able to look to somebody else and I don't know, but maybe delegating's going to come up, or maybe taking on less. I don't want to jump ahead or jump to any conclusions here. Let's see. This does have to do with, for many of you, a partnership. I'm seeing the Lovers come out. Yeah, this is something relatively new. How about that? Knight of Pentacles, the Lovers, and then the Knight of Pentacles. So there can be a choice about an offer that's being made. More than likely this has to do with you and another person. Yeah, see how this is? You have the Lovers here. Somebody considering like making an offer, like gonna give this thing to this other person. And look, here's the Queen of Cups. So this is like, I feel very clear with the graphics of this, what's happening. Like somebody's potentially going to make an offer. It may have been something that took its time. Like the Knight of Pentacles is generally seen as being slow because it's associated with earth energy, and earth energy usually is like pretty conservative with the choices, like a turtle. And also, if you think about things that like take time to grow, you know, like come from the earth and all of that, and how in 3D, like things usually take time to manifest. So there's definitely like something emotional going on for sure. Like to have the Queen of Cups here, to also have the Ace of Cups, and then in Temperance, like the focal point are the cups here that Temperance has, and then also to have the Lovers as well. This does seem like a dynamic. So yeah, if you're the one that is identifying with the Queen of Cups, there can be like somebody that you've been hanging out with, that you have been like enjoying their company, and like I'm hearing fusion. So maybe you guys have been like getting to know each other, something like that, or getting to know this situation, this connection, familiarizing yourself. But you may feel like this person is like taking their time making this offer. I'm seeing you may feel a bit, I don't know, there's like stress between you and this person. Maybe it's just you because you have a lot going on. Like you may have a lot that you have to do, that you have to sort of like take care of independently, where you have to be self-reliant. And that can be like in your personal life or in your work life, or maybe an amalgamation of those two. And that can also be affecting a relationship because like everything's intertwined and interconnected. So I don't know if it's like the actual relationship, but this feels more like someone being like, I feel like a lot's expected of me, or that I have to be self-reliant and do things, and that I don't really have another person necessarily to rely on to do these things because I'm responsible for these things. It's like that sort of energy of one feeling very responsible, and maybe like also very accountable. Like I'm getting a very accountable energy for this King of Wands here. So it's somebody that really like knows the weight of sort of, yeah, again, all their responsibilities. Then I'm seeing something about a connection and somebody coming through, potentially making an offer, but it does feel like this has been taking its time to sort of unravel. And this does seem like a fresh connection. Like I'm seeing something relatively new that you have going on here. Also, too, to have Temperance, this can be a reminder to take your time with this. It can be a reminder to allow things to adjust, because right now may be a bit of an uncomfortable spot for you, but I'm not seeing that that's going to be how it's going to be feeling for a long time. This seems like very, very temporary currently. You have an emotional connection with this person if you are the Queen of Cups. And this person sees you as being holding space, in touch with your emotions, somebody that they can talk to, somebody that they can trust. Creative. but I am seeing a tower here, which feels a bit, ironically enough, unexpected. Maybe because the situation is becoming, I get this feeling of like somebody almost bursting at the seams emotionally, but it's because of like all the stuff that they have going on within their life. But this may be like an eruption of some sort. Like the way that I see the tower, it kind of has a Uranian vibe to it. And Uranus can be like something happening like in a snap, something happening very quickly, like an unpredictable thing. Like even though it's connected with Mars, but Mars is also, even though the tower is also connected with Mars, Mars can be something, again, like happening very quickly. Like it's not usually something prolonged. It's kind of like an eruption again or something like that, even though like Uranus is connected with that too. So I'm getting that this was like only a ticking time bomb because the Ten of Wands is here. So if there was not stress involved in this, this wouldn't have happened. But I'm seeing the tower is coming out because something's like in a pressure cooker, essentially. There's like too much stuff trying to be like shoved into something, is what I'm seeing here, like energetically. And like the packaging can't hold. And this may be like one's bandwidth for sort of moving through this situation emotionally, because I'm getting some very big feelings here. I am looking at the Three of Swords. Maybe something happened. Something was expressed. Let's say this too. Maybe it doesn't necessarily have to do with this situation and somebody's dealing with something else, or they're like coming out of another relationship or something like that and they're feeling triggered. Because having Two of Pentacles and the Three of Swords come out, it's kind of like needing to mind the heart space and pay attention to what's going on, especially what one is feeling most impacted by. Someone could have also felt like they weren't being completely prioritized as well in the way that they wanted to be. I'm getting like one of the people here within this equation be like quite slow moving to do things. Okay. So there's a focus now on what's going on between these two people. So now this is being like localized as being like in the environment of the relationship that I'm seeing here. It looks like something had happened. Like somebody may even be trying to make up for something that happened, but I'm seeing it was like some sort of intense emotional and maybe also mental situation that had happened here between these two people. And I'm definitely seeing the feminine water energy feel like this is almost too much to manage or too much to handle. Again, coming back to someone maybe not feeling like they have the bandwidth or being like at the very edge, like right before everything sort of tumbles over the edge. So anyway, it's important that the tower happens even though it can feel inconvenient, because like who really looks at a tower and is like, I'm glad that happened, unless you're able to really see it from that higher perspective. For the most part, we're looking at it and seeing it feel like a very big disruption to what's been going on, like a disruption to the routine. However, I'm seeing that this tower and whatever happened during the tower, which can again be like an unexpected sort of unpredictable event or happening where it's like, oh, I did not see that coming, something like this, which feels again like some sort of something emotionally coming up where there may have been like a very passionate side of somebody showing, or a very emotional side, or a very heightened side in some way. I'm seeing it be connected with that, which was exacerbated by the stress that one was feeling within the situation. This is a thing that needed to happen because it showed that there was something going on that was underlying, that needed to be addressed, that sort of needed to be brought to the front, and that's exactly what happened here. So then it can be worked on. Meaning, maybe somebody had some sort of outburst, or again, like an unexpected way they behaved within a situation, within the dynamic. It definitely happened within the dynamic. And it kind of seems like wounding that was already there was like highlighted or brought to the front, which it needed to be. Because I'm seeing this person has been working on it, but maybe wasn't prioritizing it before, and this made it so apparent that like it needed to be addressed. So it just brought everything forward, it brought everything to the surface, is how I'm seeing this come through. For some of you, there's potential that there could have been an additional person that was involved in this. Not for everybody, but for some of you, I am seeing a third person. Vaguely. Yeah, so ending with the Two of Pentacles and the Three of Swords, this is someone being like, I need to prioritize my heart. And then to have the Eight of Pentacles, this can be something that like somebody has been working on, like somebody has stayed working on this thing. And then we end this spread with the Eight of Cups, which is somebody kind of looking over and evaluating what's like actually not resonating with them, and whether or not certain things are worth it to them. And if they see that something's not, it means that it's like, I'm a head out from whatever that is. Some of you, I'm definitely seeing you sort of like cope with this by humor, dark humor, but I'm catching a vibe here with this. Like I'm seeing memes and stuff. Because it feels like a kind of intense situation, but I'm definitely getting some like levity here that I'm seeing with the way that one is coping with this, because it just seems like a bit like much, kind of an intense thing. Okay, so let's look over this and pick up more details. What I'm getting is that one has been sort of like sticking within and trying to work within a dynamic and prioritize like the ideal feelings of connection. I'm seeing somebody come through and try to make an offer to another person. I'm hearing repair. I'm hearing repair specifically. So this person comes through and they're trying to make an offer. The person on the receiving end may be like, what took you so long to even do this in the first place? But maybe now this person, the person that's making the offer, like the proposition, has like made up their mind to do this. But what I'm seeing is that what's in between these two characters is like a lot of heartbreak and a lot of stress, like a lot of intensity and stuff that like somebody went through and they were like, I don't even know if I can handle going through this, like that type of intensity. It was like a lot mentally for this person to handle, and they felt like just very overwhelmed by this whole situation that's happened, maybe multiple incidents that happened. And I'm seeing they've like been spending a lot of time trying to work on themselves, and also trying to do trying to like take back control within their life, maybe in a way that they felt out of control within this situation and that really triggered something for them, but then motivated them to sort of be like, I'm the one that's responsible and I'm not going to sit around in a situation if it's not resonating with me. And I'm seeing that this person, it's like something sort of, it's kind of like, you know, sometimes we go through a situation and we can be on both ends of this too and react many different ways to something. I'm seeing somebody that felt just so, like things got so heavy that it actually ended up motivating them to be like, I want the control back. Like, I don't want to be out of control. I don't want to perceive these things as just happening to me and I don't have any say in this. So I'm seeing this person through working on themselves emotionally, and I'm seeing a lot of emotional work that this person has done. They get to this point where they're like, I recognize that if I'm staying in situations where like my needs are not being met or it's not really resonating with me, that it's my responsibility and that I'm the one that's choosing to stay within these situations. And I'm seeing something almost like spontaneously occur because this even feels like a surprising epiphany. And I'm seeing the Tower and I'm seeing the Eight of Cups. This looks like you may have thought that you were gonna, this looks like the person that was on the receiving end of things. Like maybe the person getting an apology or somebody that maybe feels like somebody did something to them within the relationship. Something like that. It's like hard to describe this exactly. I don't know how this person identifies totally, but they may have felt like the wrongdoing was primarily on the other person's end, or just that the other person maybe had something to apologize for. Something like that, okay? Even if they don't always feel like that, like that's sort of the best way for me to sum that up energetically, because I'm seeing like a lot of back and forth here. Anyway, what I'm getting is that this person that it seems like they went through more emotionally, again, like very touchy energetically, but maybe we can say like the person that may have identified as the deeper feeler within the situation, that may have held more space emotionally for the other person, that may have been emotionally more impacted presently to the situation, they have done like a lot of emotional work, and I'm seeing them get to the point where they're like, you know what, I'm responsible. If I'm taking on too much, that's stress that I'm accepting and allowing within my life. And so there's like this accountability basically from all the shadow work that this person did. They got to this spot where they're like, I'm accountable, and like I also get to choose what I'm experiencing. So if I keep choosing to experience that, I'm making this choice. And like, why am I choosing to experience something that I don't necessarily prefer? Even though this could have potentially been something that was working, I'm just seeing this person get to this point where like it's like nobody expected it, like least of all them, and they end up walking out. That's what I'm seeing. But it happened like, this is totally spontaneous. This is like nobody saw this coming at all. That's what I'm seeing. And this person may have like delayed taking action and delayed and delayed and delayed, but it's like this basically like something got activated within them and they're like, no, like I'm responsible, and then like I have to take action if action needs to be taken. It's like they just woke up. And I'm seeing them leave, but very, very unexpectedly. Because it seemed like they had been trying to make it work, like with this other person and within the dynamic. And I don't think that they even expected to step out, but they did. But I'm seeing it came about very spontaneously. And that is being like super highlighted here, that this person, it was not a plan of theirs. It like probably shocked them more than anybody that they ended up leaving. But yeah, I'm seeing somebody like, because it's like they would have, felt like they were making the choice to actively stay within something that I don't think they wanted to experience anymore. And they realized that like nobody else was making them do it, that they were choosing that. So there's like also nobody else to point the finger at except for themselves, you know, like looking at themselves in the mirror, and they were like, why am I choosing to keep experiencing this? Even though like nothing is like all good or all bad or anything like that. I'm seeing like there's connection here, like there's this, there's that, like stuff going on, there's like potential, all of that, but it just seemed like this person was like, I'd prefer something else, and they dipped. That's what I'm seeing. But it feels like very last minute even. I'm hearing Scorpio. I'm looking at Sagittarius, Gemini, and Mars. Remember, all of us have all of the archetypes within our birth charts and the capacity to tap into any one of them. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.